And unmute myself. Good morning. Good morning. BizDev Morning Brew, 7 a.m. It is Thursday, closing out the week, and I'm sporting my cash flow hat because that is my target for the end of this week. I am closing this week with cash flow in mind, making sure that I am bringing in the sales that are the lifeblood of my business. So, this is what we are going to discuss today. And a lot of my background is you can Google me if you want. You can go to my LinkedIn page. You can see my resume. But the biggest part of the sales end of my background has to do with going through the school of hard knocks. And I went through a lot of sales training with sales managers and other sales professionals leading the way. So there hasn't been a school you can go to when I started. When I got into college, it was this you just go to business school. So I went to business, I studied marketing. In a lot of the things that I learned in college, all the way through, from bachelor's all the way through master's, I still don't really see the connection that the information given on in those university courses can really be applicable to hard nosed sales. Sure, you do get the framework in the business sense of understanding how to read P&L statements, how to get into finance, but some of the things are put on such a scale that when you're looking at financials, you're looking at a business that is starting off with $1 million to $10 million capital. And a lot of small businesses don't start off that way. A lot of you guys who are watching this are not running off of a cash flow in the millions of dollars. And one of the things that I learned along the way while I was going to different seminars, and most of the seminars were always in the self-help area, which is kind of crazy, right? You're in the sales profession business, but the most information that you're getting on how to run your business is through self-help. You go through Tony Robbins and you reach out to all of these big nationally known conglomerate type uh, business professionals, and they're teaching you how to do sales, yet it's mostly about helping you understand how to become a better you, right? And it's insane. This stuff doesn't get taught to you in college. So when I went out and really looked for some sales training and certification, there are the big wigs out there that charge you tens of thousands of dollars to go to their seminars. I fell into Cardone University. And Cardone University, I learned sales and marketing through their boot camps and through their strategy plans and through a lot of their live events. Also, they have an online library. So Grant Cardone, if you don't know who he is, I'm sure you may. If you're watching this, you probably definitely know who he is. But if not, simply Google Grant Cardone and you'll see tons of information. He's omnipresent when it comes to the internet. When I got involved with working with his team, I was immediately wanting to learn more. And then as I got a chance to understand more about his programs, I was given an opportunity to be a licensee. So that's something that is separate. But I will share with you because of the fact that I do agree with and approve of the messaging of Grant Cardone, who wouldn't anyway. That's why I sport the cash flow hat. That's why I wear the gear, because I want this to be a symbol and a representation while I'm working, and it gives me that charge, and it gives me that state that I need to be in order to do the business that I do. This is the same things that you would want to do. You want to grab this type of information and use it to put yourself in state in order to be able to accomplish the outcomes that you're looking for. So targets. I really wanted to just go out and give you a spiel and say exactly what I mean when we're talking about our outcomes and targets, but I stopped and said, why not share the information that I get? So using my time wisely, I'm going to go ahead and share a little snippet from my library in Cardone University, and let's watch a few minutes of Mr. Cardone explaining about targets?
Talk about targets, okay? This is where it all starts. What is the target? Most people are going to work every day. They don't even know what they're going to work for. They're going to work for a paycheck, and then they wonder, why am I working for a paycheck? So why I got a job, okay, but what was the target of the job? What was the goal of the job? What is the real mission behind getting a job? Target is defined as the state or quality or being dedicated to a cause, activity, commitment, or company commitment to quality. Okay, so when I'm setting a target, okay, a job itself would not be the target unless, of course, you just want a place to go every day. What is the real reason you want that? Is it money? Is it opportunity? Is it you want education? Same thing with college, right? I went to college. I didn't even know why I was going to college. When you look at the word target, it means things like dedication, devotion, allegiance, loyalty, faithfulness, fidelity, bond, adherence to, attentiveness. When I went to college, I had no fidelity to college. I had no adherence. I did not have a bond. I definitely was not attentive. Okay. I had no loyalty, no allegiance, no devotion, and no dedication to the college because, hey, I missed most of my classes. Same thing when I got my first job and my second job and my third job and my fourth job. Guess what? I did that for 7 jobs, lost 7 jobs because I had not a target. Okay. Target also means an engagement or an obligation that restricts freedom or action. I want you to write this down. Target. I got $1 million target. When I get a $1 million target, unfortunately, people, the first thing people want to do is they want to be like, okay, my target is 0. I'm at 0 right now. I know no one, have no money, have no contacts, and I want to go to $1 million. That's my target. Okay. An engagement, the $1 million is the engagement or the obligation that restricts freedom of action. So what I want to do right now, when I set a target, when I went and did Discovery Channel's Undercover Billionaire, first thing I did was make a list of things I was willing to give up on. Restrict freedom of action. I had 90 days. That was a restriction. They dropped me off in Pueblo. That was a restriction. I couldn't use my name. Restriction. Couldn't use my money or my credit cards. I had no time for my family. Listen to what I'm telling you right now. This is a restriction. If you want to create wealth for yourself or achieve any target, you want to become a ball player, restrictions of freedom of action. You probably got to quit eating junk or you got to start eating junk. You're not going to be able to play games. You're going to have to actually go run laps. You're going to have to hit bags. You're going to have to get great. Okay. So in business, a target, I want to sell 1 million widgets. Okay. What am I going to give up? What are my restrictions and freedoms? Oh, I might have to give up free cash flow. You understand? You will always have to give something up in order to obtain your target.
So this is a huge thing that in business that I really grabbed a hold of when I went to a Cardone event. And when he would talk about, you know, the need to find out what restrictions you have to put in place in order for you to attain your targets. And a lot of people, and I noticed this actually in some live events. I've been to a dozen live events with Grant Cardone, one-on-one mentor events as well as large events. And in some of these closer, intimate events, you really get more candid conversation, and it's more necessary to be able to get that candid conversation, I believe, than the big pomps and circumstance that you would get from like a big, massive a Robbins event or something like that. If you don't if you really want to grab onto a coaching or a mentor type of environment, and you're looking for the advice of someone who has succeeded ahead of you, and you're looking to follow in their footsteps, you want to get into a more intimate setting because you get really candid advice. And a lot of the more candid advice that I got was some of what you just witnessed in that clip. So, what things are you needing to restrict, and what things do you need to give up? And this is an ideal point when you're thinking of cash flow. He even mentioned that you may need to give up free cash flow in order for your business to thrive. A lot of businesses, especially startups, have to go through a point where you are running into little or less and less cash flow, yet you see sales increasing. So you're looking at the bottom line and you're seeing, I have the sales numbers, yet I don't have the actual dollars in the bank to be able to pay. So you have receivables that you have to look at and things of that nature. And you may need to restrict some of these extra subscriptions or fees that are going out and really need to dial in where you're spending your marketing dollars. I remember another conversation that I had with it was a handful of us, it was about 12 of us at a lunch. And someone asked Grant Cardone how much money he spent in marketing. And when you look at the dollars that he spends now, he spends anywhere between, I think, $3 to $10 million a month. We're looking at $100 million a year in marketing capital, and that is a dollar amount that pretty much puts every small business owner on his heels. You also have to look at the fact that the man is a billionaire. He's built himself up to a point where he has to spend that kind of money in order to be able to continue the revenue that he's bringing in. And this is where we are as a startup. When you're at a startup level or you're in a mid level, you're looking at these points and you're wanting to see where you need to make the adjustments to get to the next level. And when you hit that pain point of not being able to increase certain spending points like payroll and increasing payroll or increasing your marketing because of the limit in cash flow, there is something in there that needs to be given up. You must reevaluate where you need to adjust. I know personally I've had to give up going out. I had to give up an office space. I had to give up a vehicle. There were many times where I had to decide, okay, there are certain luxury items I may need to cut for the greater good of cash flow, right? Cash flow is king. That is one of the biggest things that I learned from Grant Cardone, which is a huge mantra in the business that I work with, and with the businesses that I work with, and all of the owners all agree that they want to increase cash flow, and that's what we work on a regular basis. I even have cash flow meetings, and one of the CEOs that I work with created a cash flow review. So that way we always have an idea of where we are in the business, basing our knowledge on where our level of cash flow is. We're not looking at the success based on how big our sales are. We can have millions of dollars in sales and still have receivables in the millions of dollars where the cash flow is not coming in. Now, when you have an item that is purchased with a credit card and you got that money coming in, now you're starting to see cash flow coming in. However, a lot of us work on contracts. A lot of us work on the checks in the mail system. And when you are needing to deal on terms, net 30 terms, net 45 terms, net 90 terms, you're not working on a high level of cash flow. You have future money. You have debt that needs to be collected. And sometimes that debt that needs to be collected can start costing you money and costing you cash flow more than actually earning you cash flow. So think of these things when you're putting your targets together. What am I doing and why? And really define what these purposes are as you move into your projects. And then start to, if you're looking at KPIs, use KPIs that are measuring the what's and whys in your purpose of what you're doing, and then analyze these targets with those things in mind. And remember, the bottom line is the actual flow of money through your business. All right. BizDev Morning Brew. BizDev Morning Brew. Closing out on a Thursday strong. We had our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, going into Friday bonus day. If you have any questions or comments, or you wish to, jump on this call with me first thing in the morning, please let me know. I'll send you the link, or I'll just address the questions and the comments that you are sending to me, which I appreciate. I hope that you're having a fantastic week. I know that your business will grow and be strong. Keep consistency with everything you do. Watch BizDev Morning Brew. Listen to your mentors. Check in with your coaches. Be held accountable by your team, and always look to hit your targets. Talk to you next time. BizDev Morning Brew out.